everyone. Welcome to a special AVN Week episode of the Performers Pod. I'm Chelsea Poe, and I'm here today with 2023 AVN Awards nominee, Lyrics Guy. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I can't believe it's already 2023. I feel like this year just started. Got a little tripped up.
I just got used to 2022.
Right? Well, first off, congrats on your nominations for Hottest Solo Performer and Hottest Oral Performer. Those are some really big categories. That's a huge...
I'm excited. Those are like, okay, good job.
That's so amazing. Well, congratulations on that. And then you just won Why Not Sex Worker Advocate, which you're killing it right now. How are you feeling about all of this?
2022 has been like a roller coaster of a year. It started off not knowing kind of a direction and then soared off from July and just it's been crazy. So I'm just glad everything's kind of gotten back to almost a little bit normal in the industry and getting to share it in person with everyone.
For sure. So you started you started a little bit before the pandemic, right?
Yeah, this is my 4th year, so 4 years in now.
Wow. So you're really split down the middle. You have 2 years of pandemic industry and 2 years before.
It's like I thought I had kind of figured it out. then I didn't.
That has to be so crazy. I started about 10 years ago, so I've been in for a while. So everything drastically changed. But now I feel like all these new girls only know porn since the pandemic. So
OnlyFans for me, I had before anyone knew what it was. So I was like, oh, cool, I already have one of those. Let me go ahead and use it.
So you were on that way before. That's so cool.
I definitely knew about the sex work thing before it was cool to be a sex worker, I guess.
This keeps coming up on this podcast. I feel like just the mainstreaming of sex work during the pandemic has been so crazy.
It's good and bad. You know what? Roll with it. But it's our life, so it's not going to go away for us.
Yeah, I didn't think Beyonce would have a song referencing OnlyFans winning a Grammy, but she did. And it's crazy to think about that. And just I think there was a Disney star who had an OnlyFans, and I feel like everyone cams now. It's just so weird.
Which is crazy because it's the same thing we've been doing, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, just the mainstreaming of it's so crazy. So you're based in Texas, right?
I am. I'm in Texas, a little solo down here by myself.
That's so cool though. I feel like before everyone had to be in LA or Vegas, and
I got told that you had they're you're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
You move, or you're gonna have to go stay somewhere for weeks at a time and shoot. And I was like, no. We're not doing it that way.
Yeah, I think it's so cool that there's just people who can just now be I'm gonna live in Texas or Kentucky or just wherever and just be no, I'm gonna have a whole porn career here and I'm gonna be nominated for awards. I'm gonna do the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a freedom of, I guess, being your own boss, and it's relieving to know I can get up and go and work wherever I need to, kind of.
Yeah, I think that flexibility, specifically during the pandemic, has just been such an important thing for performers because I feel what being a porn star has been during the pandemic has shifted so much.
It's not the go shoot and have all this, we were stuck.
For sure. Did you have you always been making a bunch of solo content, or did that kind of develop more because of the pandemic?
The solo content was more of let me find myself and kind of my alter ego of me. But definitely pandemic. And just really wanting to find myself as I've changed over my career. Because I don't know, I did a lot of, boy girl and all the let me shoot and see what you guys want. Solo doesn't sell, that's what they tell you, right?
Yeah, I definitely feel like that. When you get into porn, at least I did, I'm I didn't get into porn to masturbate alone. I came in here to do all the crazy stuff I can't do on my own.
No one's gonna watch that. But they do. They love it. So my feet are really, really big. So that during the pandemic, people are like, oh, feet sell. I'm like, okay, not all feet sell. But if you have really big feet or really small feet,
I like I I think there might be people into all kinds of feet. Like, I don't know if you've ever gone down the wiki feet rabbit hole.
like
It's crazy.
once I started getting into like the foot fetish side of things, I was like, let me really scroll through, and I was like, feet? Do you like that part of the foot? Okay.
Have you gone on your wiki feet where it says the people whose feet are like your feet? It's
Yes.
crazy. I have feet like Anne Hathaway and Selena Gomez, and I had no idea. I went to my partner one day. I'm like, I have the same feet as Selena Gomez, and they're just like, "Why are you looking this up?"
But you never know that though.
Right? Do you remember who's your feet
Mine is
also like?
unfortunately Serena Williams. I think it's really just like you know, I
She is like one of the greatest athletes of all time, though. So
badass foot.
yeah, right? I'm like, I bet there's totally people who've fetishized specifically Serena Williams's feet. There has to be that somewhere on the planet.
Her tennis shoes, sneakers, and her foot. Yeah. Oh yeah. Solo content has made me think. It's made me research.
Hmm.
I've met and got to just learn a lot of different people in our industry that are cam, because I'm not good at cam. I'm not a good cam model. So I have so much
It's
respect for
really
them.
hard to get into,
So hard.
honestly.
I vibe off of people and I'm a people person. So just learning the solo content side of things and getting to research from other peers in our industry, very fortunate to learn a lot of that. So it's been
Yeah,
hard.
that's really great that you were able to like pivot into that. Yeah, camming, I started doing camming, but like if you're a people person, it almost makes it harder for you
It's
because
depressing.
people, yeah.
And what did you say? Did
Yeah,
you?
people are like lying to you and being like, I'm gonna get money in a second. And it's like they're there for like 35 minutes.
And then here's my dumb butt. Well, we never come back on. Like I'm so terrible. It's not me.
Yeah, if you're a people person, it's very difficult because you want to think the best in people, but you really can't.
Because they all like all 360 of you watching. There's only like one of you that doesn't suck.
Yep, 100%. That's how camming works. It's like there's one or two clients who are actually give you all the money.
It's oh my goodness. So I have so much respect for all of the cam I've got to learn from. Patience is a virtue,
Yeah.
but
I also
not my strong suit though.
Yeah, I feel like with camming, you have to be doing something else low key. Like you have to like be listening to like a podcast and no one else knows. That's what I do a lot. Or like have an AirPod in and like watch a movie behind the screen or something. Like you can't be fully in it.
I could like cook or do something else. So I see how like people could watch you work out or something, but then I would be worried about them watching me work out.
Yeah, I'm not letting people watch me work out. I feel like
I
that's almost like too far. Anal,
yeah,
that's fine, but
but listen, I can't do a burpee, okay? Don't watch it.
for sure. I feel like people just like pinpointing like what you're doing wrong with your squats and stuff. That would be too much for me.
So anytime like I'm like, okay, I look cute today, let me post my workout video. Someone comments on it and says like something really rude about me not doing it the right way. Who gives a shit? Look at my ass.
Right? I feel like that is one of the parts about porn that people will like focus in on these micro things that like there's one little thing wrong or there's like a spelling typo in a super hot photo and there's like, excuse me, do you know that you actually used the wrong there?
Yes. Yes. I'm like, so you didn't see any of like the first 5 minutes of the video.
Oh, that's so
You
true.
know, I appreciate the views. That's all I'm gonna ever say.
So did you just like start doing content on your own in Texas and then it just kind of turned into shooting with other companies, or did you just start like doing trips to the coast basically?
No, I went to an award show and met Richard Mann, kind of like a network of performers.
Hmm.
like as someone's date, just hanging out. And I got invited to go to an exotic in New Jersey, and from there, that was like my first
Oh,
time
okay.
shooting. So I shot a lot of content there, and then kind of got invited throughout that network. Set up my own platforms. I've been independent for 4 years, and then as I kept shooting and kept putting my content out there and networking, just the companies that have reached out. So it is amazing to get to say, yes, I worked for Brazzers, or they reach out to me, and I'm very like fortunate to say, yeah, I did that and got myself there. My camera woman that I have, Salacious Perceptions, she's like my rock, my business partner. She's like ready extendo arm all the time to get my crazy angles that I need. So she makes
That's
me
so
look
cool.
like a thing. So it's been a long journey, but I have a little network that's been helping me, but definitely independent.
Yeah, I feel like you find your team after you've been in porn for a while. Like you find the people who get what you're doing and just like a little working team.
To
I
actually understand, like, okay, you're going through the same hell I am. You get it.
I feel like this industry is just so many ups and downs where like you have moments where you're like, holy shit, I'm destined to do this. Everything's going great. And then you have like a few bad weeks and you're just like, what the fuck am I doing?
There's it was actually right before the pandemic. I was like, fuck, this is not working,
Mhm.
something's not clicking, the sales weren't there. And we kind of rolled into the next year, and I was like, pandemic hit. But when they opened up Exoticas again, we had like a little shutdown for a second. I was like, photos are in. People are still wanting print. We're still on Southern Charm selling photos. So we just went, photo crazy. Like on putting them out there, I have photo sets on my website out the ass. Publishing, like just different parts of our industry. There's so many untapped avenues
For
of it
sure.
all.
I feel like
It,
that's the thing that really amazes me about AVN. Like
mhm.
just the scale of our industry, that it's not only like a AVN, it's not only performers, it's
Mhm.
video people, it's like the back end people who run like the affiliate sites
Yeah.
for all the main sites, and then there's like every sex toy company there.
So I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that. Okay, cool. Like you don't know you need it until we're all together and there's a network, and we do kind of need every little bit of it.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely, before we went on, you mentioned like the Grammys or the Oscars. I almost think it's almost like the Olympics, because there's like shit you don't even know exists. You're like, wait, that's a sport or whatever. That's a part of porn. And then it's
Yes.
just like this person from the other side of the world or a part of like North America you've totally forgot existed. It's like, oh yeah, I made my entire career doing this.
I know for sure, like AVN for me, the last one that was in person, so like the 2020 or whatever, I got to meet like my UK crush that, flew over, and it's just a networking event that brings kind of everyone because it is worldwide. Like people
Yeah.
know, just I get it's been gone, but people will always know what AVN is and what it stands for. So to be able to bring everyone and understand the same thing together in a room, like we're all there for the same reason. So it's
Yeah. It's crazy to be part of that history. Like you're forever going to be part of that
like,
when there's
on
when
it.
there's
Yeah.
yeah, when there's AVN 75 or 100, they're going to look at a list and be like, "Oh, who was that person?" you know?
Listen, one day I'm gonna scroll back in the archives.
Right? Like there's gotta be someone to do that someday. And I think it's like just so crazy to be part of that. And it does seem like the one thing about porn that random ass people know, and I don't know why they know it.
It's true. It's true. I have people, because you know what? It's really weird. People are like, oh, but have you heard of AV? And I'm like, yeah, that's like their thing that they connect with. Even if you're a very vanilla person or something, someone's like,
Mhm.
oh, so and so's gonna be at AV. I'm like, yeah, a lot of older people that have retired from our industry, they come out, and I get like it's crazy. You get to see almost everyone. It's kind of
That's
cool.
why I put it to the Olympics thing, because like that would be like if you're in some obscure sport like swimming or something, no one knows anything but the one thing.
Like, yeah, it's cool. It is. They're gonna know. Like, you're gonna know if that's where you're supposed to be at.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a big buzz and a big hype, but I'm excited to check it out this year.
Yeah, so this is your first year attending as a nominee?
Yes, because I was nominated last year, but it wasn't in person or anything, so
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like it. So this year I'm like, holy crap, I got two.
That's huge. So, where were you when you found out you got nominated?
Oh my goodness, where was I? I was in like the airport, I think, actually traveling like back home. And
Hmm.
I called my business partner. I said, Carrie, they released AVN and Finney is who messaged me on Instagram. And I was like, what? He was like, congratulations. And I was like, for what? And so I couldn't go on because the site was down. So I really didn't know if it was true.
Oh my God.
So we were freaking out. Like I was like, there's no way. It was a typo. They took it down. Not real. Like I don't have that.
Yeah.
I've never would have thought. So it's cool. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
It like flashed up for like, I think 2 hours.
See,
And
and
then it
like,
was gone for like 3 days.
so imagine like someone messaging you that night and then you never see it again.
I definitely messaged one of my friends. I was like, "You're nominated," and then they're like, "The site's down," and I'm like, "I took a screenshot, so I think you have to be." I'm like,
To those friends like you, Chelsea, that
"Yeah,
that we knew for those of us that didn't.
yeah." I feel like, especially this year, like AVN was so there wasn't really like a structure this year because I feel like usually they're like, "We're gonna have a award like ceremony to present the nominees and stuff." And this year I just got a phone call from my producer and there's like, oh, we're nominated. And I at first I thought like something happened to their house or their dog. I'm
You're
like, are
like,
you okay?
what's wrong? Which, yes, congratulations to you as well.
Yeah, I'm
It
stoked
has
to
been
be.
so crazy. I'm like, but I didn't know. Oh, and Avery James, shout out to Avery James. She
Mhm.
texted me and because I saw hers and I was like, congratulations. And she was like, I saw you up for a couple. And I'm like, you
A
saw
couple.
so yeah, it's been interesting. I can't wait to see how it goes in person.
Yeah, did you celebrate at all?
We no, I have not yet. I think we're gonna
Really?
celebrate on the first. We're gonna celebrate on the first, and then like my whole network of people, kind of like our little team, we're gonna be in Vegas together. So
Oh,
we're
that's
gonna
so fun.
so we have an Airbnb a house. We're gonna do like yay team because I'm nominated with Jonathan Jordan for the Orlist. So we're gonna kind of
Mm.
do yay, we made it together kind of thing.
That's so great. I feel like that's the stuff about ABN that like doesn't get shared, that it's like literally these like little teams of people coming from all over the country and the world who are just like,
Finally meet up. It's been like, oh my goodness, I would say almost 2.5, 3 years since like
wow.
all of us because we have events and kind of meet up throughout like the year.
Mhm.
But everyone that's like there, your wife or you're like their wives are coming to celebrate them or like it's a
Yeah.
family thing. And
Yeah.
wins are great. Yes, the Why Not one was oh my gosh, amazing and crazy, but we will not celebrate nominations always. So very, very
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good to remember that and just being like, holy shit, we're in Vegas for this huge ass thing that's like
you
taking
know
over
how
the
many
city.
people do you know how many people like would love to say we're in Vegas for a porn convention and
Yeah.
we're nominated. Like only so many people in the world can say that, and we're coming together to do it for all of it. Like I don't care if it's a long list, shit, we're on it.
Yeah. Also, it's not that long of a list. Like
It's not.
when you look at it at first, you're like, wow, this is a lot of people. But like when you start to think
For the
about,
art industry as a whole, we're gonna keep on going if we're doing something right.
yeah, I think that's an important way to remember, like going into AVN because so many people get so caught up. And obviously, it's natural when you have this thing that can be a career defining thing that people
Yes.
get worked up and stressed out. But like, you're in
No,
like the top 10 or top 15 at whatever you do in the world. That's fucking crazy. Like, just numbers wise.
that's what I'm like. For Why Not? I'm like, oh my goodness, there was like, 5 other people in the category for sex worker advocate, I want to make sure that I talk to anyone, any platform, anybody from alt to black to purple to brown, because that's the platform that I want, that I built for myself with my name to be able to do that. So it's amazing to get to share that with everyone in our industry.
Yeah, and I think that's like really needed right now more in porn. I mean, I think porn obviously has had a little bit of a racial reckoning, but there just needs to be so much more to be done. I mean, myself being trans, like from when I started to now, is completely different. Like,
for me to like own a magazine and say, okay, I have it here, we got to shoot TS Foxy for cover of it. Like those are goals that I've always wanted to do in my adult career, and people I've idolized and looked up to. And why wouldn't we want to publish everyone? Like I've gotten told no so much in my career, from, oh, you're not this, you're too old, you're too young, I'm like, well, fuck, what am I supposed to do?
That's like one positive thing I feel like that came from the pandemic, is like these studios have so much less power to say no to people now.
Because we'll just go do it ourselves. I don't need to create that network and platform. When you have podcasts and people that are out there, then we're gonna use that. We don't have to have you if you're gonna be like that.
Yeah, I feel like, so I started in like 2012, 2013. It was like so many of these studios were just a guy who had a camera. And he's like, well, I'm a straight man, so I know what's best in porn. And it's just like, what?
You're like, no, that's not it. For me, it was, you have to do Texas. Because I was in a vanilla job, and I was dancing, and I was like, okay, I feel like I want to do more. So for me to like go on Sexy Jobs and create an account and do all that,
I forgot about that site.
I started from the bottom, okay? We did not say the bottom. I mean, Sexy Jobs, trying to get booking from, I'll go dance in a strip club and here and there, be featured, to putting myself in the right situations. Like no one handed it, or no one told me like the dumb stuff not to do. Do not go on Craigslist and answer ads for photographers for photos. Okay.
Yeah, no one tells you that don't do stuff in porn, which there needs to be something. I hope that just performers talking about their experiences on stuff like this helps, but like also when you get into porn, there's no map.
There's no map. There's been no one to say this is better than this, or this you should try this, because nothing works the same for everyone, because we all are our own brand. It's amazing. Like what might work for you, I'm like, damn, I cannot do that. Like it's not.
It's so true.
But it's always interesting to learn and like find your, not even a niche, because I was told in the beginning, like you have to have a niche or you're not going to make it. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm here because I don't know. So I'm very thankful that I didn't have to go down that. You have to shoot for the studio and start. You can be independent and still find your way and be, with both. It works both ways.
I just love your honesty with that, because like there's a lot of, especially your first years in the industry, you just don't know, and you're just like trying to get from one thing to another and be like, I think this is good, I think this is going to work out, but you honestly don't know until probably a few years after.
Oh, I've gone and like, I was like, why did I do, like that shoot was not, I didn't need to be there, do any of that. It wasn't like so many things that I'm like, okay, but I did, and I've learned and grown from it. If someone else was to ask me, I would be honest and give my opinion. But it's been really interesting. Gosh, there's no right or wrong way. But there are some like not so great ways.
It's so real. So you mentioned earlier that there's been some ups and downs this year for you. Like, do you want to talk about those? Like, what were kind of the challenges of this last year?
Shoot, I would just say like from pandemic get-go, if you didn't have a hard drive of content, you weren't getting money, And
you had to have so much saved up.
Yeah, I was very, very thankful. I had a hard drive of content that got me through literally the lockdown,
Wow.
And then it was, hey, I don't really want to shoot a lot right now. I went through like a huge dip in depression, like huge, to the point
Yeah.
where I'm like, it's not selling. Why am I going to keep doing it this way? Like I said, like, so I really
Hmm.
did. I stepped back for a second from just shooting girl boy content and all of that. And my dad passed away because of COVID. So the
Oh, I'm
pandemic
so
was all
sorry.
pandemic hit. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And then I decided May of this year, I'm like, okay, we're getting things rolling. Came out with the magazine, like regrouped with myself. And I said, if I'm hitting what I make in my vanilla job, regular industry, let's put all my life and time into my brand, you know? And so this is my first year of me getting to do this full time. So
Wow.
it is paid off.
That's such a
Yeah,
fucking amazing story going into this AVM for you. So you
I did.
experienced like really
My
serious loss,
yeah.
like losing a parent's really hard. I lost my dad, I think 6 years ago. So I can definitely relate on that, where it's just so difficult, and that you were able to go back to your job and then do it the way you wanted to, and then win a Why Not award, and now are up for 2 AVNs. That's like a narrative that needs to be talked about. That's fucking amazing. Oh my God.
I was like, Dad would not want me to be doing the same shit, not being happy. Because
Yeah.
people are like, oh, well, your parents, go live my best life. And if you're gonna be a hoe, be the best hoe you can be. So I'm gonna be an award winner when you do it. So,
Well, you already did that. So anything else now is just like,
we're gonna go up. So it's been this this is life and I love it. I'm excited. I needed it.
wow.
Yeah. I
Congrats.
feel
That's
I feel
so badass.
I lost 90 pounds in the process. So when people say depression is a bitch,
Damn.
yeah.
Wow. So you've gone through a lot in the last 2 years, and I bet it's gonna feel so good just to go down that
Go
red carpet and like have all of that leading to this point, you know?
we get to say thank you guys, team, everybody. Yeah, to celebrate me because I don't celebrate me a lot. So
Yeah. Because when you're like in it, you're just like, okay, I have to get this done. I have to get this done. You're not like, look at this huge accomplishment I made.
no, so this is kind of like, oh wow, we're actually here for this. We have to
Wow.
acknowledge, yeah.
See, I think this is the stuff that comes out when you don't have like a just like a basic interviewer who's not in sex work. Because like I feel like there's no AVN red carpet interview where they would be like, so tell us about your struggles this last year, and like go that deep, you know?
Tell us why you went harder than life. Well, my dad died and shit sucked. So I said no more. Yeah.
Wow. That's just so amazing that you've seen like all this return so fast on that. Like,
And I never expected it, so it's kind of like scary because I'm like, what if it's a fluke? Nope, we're gonna keep it going. I'm putting the energy into me, you know, into my brand. Let's keep it going.
I'm like, you have the trophy, so I'm like, they can't take it back. So I guess that's not a fluke.
Here, so I'm like, no, I'm going
Yeah.
home. Yeah, it felt good.
So
It felt great. I only got to be in LA for like 2 nights. So it was crazy. So I was like, oh my goodness, it was a crazy 2 nights in LA for Why Not Awards, definitely.
yeah. So do you usually just have you just basically just shot in Texas like the whole pandemic, or have you traveled at all really?
No, I've been traveling like crazy. So once it was like, yeah, cool to travel again, kind of. I've
Hmm.
A-list flyer this year, racked them up, and this year we went to town on making sure shooting girls for the magazine, shooting solo content for myself, networking with every person possible, putting myself in any room that Erotic Sky magazine and Lyric Sky needed to be in. So it's been amazing.
Wow. So you've been fully on the hustle a lot since May, basically.
Yeah, May, when I got back from Mexico in May, and I was like, okay, here we go. So I locked myself in my office and went to town on layout for a magazine. And then from there, we planned a tour for the rest of the year, had a schedule laid out, and hit every single city, every accomplishment, and some. So,
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
like, I
set
just feel
goals
like,
so it doesn't happen because I set down in May and said all these things. So
Yeah, what were your big 3 goals in May?
To release a magazine.
Okay, so you did that.
Yeah, I did that. The other one of them was to shoot a trans model this year.
Okay, did you do that?
Yes, we did. We got to shoot
Okay.
TS Buckley, so I'm very thankful for
Oh,
that.
great. She's amazing.
Yes. And then the other one, shoot, what was our third one on the list that was like, oh, to be a sponsor of one of the adult events in the industry. So we did get to sponsor Urban X Awards this year.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yes, and 2 billboard
Everything has been.
it's been really good.
Damn. I don't think I've ever had anyone on this podcast where they're like, I set all these goals, hit all of them, and then I'm up for 2 AVNs and I won a Why Not award.
So you know what? I had a guy. We sat down with a man. I want to say it was XBiz during XBiz. That was April. This is how this all played out.
Yeah.
A nice gentleman, businessman, told me that the schedule that me and Carrie had laid out for the year was a bit ambitious. Like, there's no way that y'all 2 women are gonna be. And I'm a Taurus, so it like imprinted in my brain. Like, I put out my phone case and put it on there, so I'd see it every day.
Oh my God.
And I said a bit ambitious. Like, we set, and he asked us for a business plan and all of it. He hurt my feelings. So okay, we're gonna go do all of it. And I'm gonna send you a package that said thank you.
Oh my God.
Like that, when you say like, oh, you can't do something, don't ever tell anyone you can't do it, because you don't know what someone's capable of. Like, it sounded crazy to him, the schedule that we listed. It did. We traveled every month. We were at the events we needed to be at. I didn't care. It's a job. Your job is a bit ambitious or sounds crazy to someone. So from that day, it sparked it in April.
Wow. I love that you have that on your phone.
I'm
Damn.
like, no, it's on here.
That's like so hard, being like, I'm gonna take this and use it as motivation.
It's a heart, a bit ambitious. I had a female tell me that's that and be like, no. I'm like, okay, well, it's not really that. It's not the end of anything. Like, I'm gonna keep going always. So
wow, your drive is so like impressive right now. I'm like, damn. I'm like, right now, I'm like, you're probably gonna win those 2 AVNs, and then just like,
we're gonna keep on going. If we don't win an AVN, we're just being able to say, yeah, what's next? Okay.
Yeah.
I want international. I want to take my brand everywhere. So international is the goal for 2023. That's already on my list. So we're ready.
I'm really excited to see wherever it goes next. So what would like winning, like, let's say you win one of these huge ass categories, like, who are you up against? Do you know the other nominees? Like, are there any crazy names that you're like, why the fuck are they there?
So I have scrolled, and oh my goodness, I'm like, I love y'all. I watched you do these things. So I'm like amazed. Miss B Nasty, she's like the queen of solo content on Twitter. I mean, she got us through the pandemic with titty threads. So she did, like, she went crazy off of Titty Tuesday and the car masturbations. Like, everyone wants to see that.
I know what you're talking about.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, they're gonna vote for her. Like, it's amazing to see the solo content creator category. These women work their butts off to get in that. So I'm very thankful.
I feel like the weird thing about AVN that people maybe don't realize is, like, you have people who are in the Hall of Fame for AVN who are still up for awards. And like, there's not that in sports. Like, you don't like have just some like Hall of Fame players be like, oh yeah, I'm just up for another one this year.
Right?
Or something.
I'm like, oh my gosh, you're like LeBron James. Can you sit down? Yeah. I love it. And it's what's really cool is I get to be there and like say, hey, I respect the heck out of you, because we're nominated for the same thing. And hopefully a lot of the nominees will be in person to get to actually network and say, yeah, I've been watching you on the internet. You know, it's really cool to actually get to tell people that you respect them in person.
I feel like that's a really cool thing about porn, because a generation of porn is probably only like 2 years. So you have people who are inspired by you 3 years later, and they're like coming up to you being like, you made me decide to do porn. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm 24 years old.
So that's kind of creepy because when I hit my 4 year mark, I'm like, I feel like a senior kind of. And
Yeah.
for like, if you hit your kind of your decade, people are like, oh, you're a legend. And I'm like, don't ask, or people are like, oh my God, I've been watching your videos, and I'm like, me? I just figured out me like literally not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure you are looking up to me? But it's the knowledge that people have to share. If you feel like I have it to share with you, or if I can learn from you as well, then that's what we're here for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And yeah, that's like one of the coolest things. I'm up against Joanne Angel this year, which is fucking
And she's
crazy.
a hottie.
Yeah, I'm like, I remember watching her porn when I was like in college, and she was just like doing DP, and like it was casual. I'm just like, damn, you're so
No,
hardcore.
go ahead, queen. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Shout out to Jeff Potter, because I'm like, there are some legends that are definitely stacked in there. I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I think just like one of the great things about AVN is it's really you have people who it's like they've been working 10 years to get one nomination. There's people who just started 2 months ago.
And awards have never been like, I didn't come into porn saying I'm gonna win an award.
Mhm.
I went into porn thinking like I want to be a household name, and I want to be a sex symbol because I've never felt sexy until now. Like I didn't ever feel sexy. So find you, like be you, embrace yourself. That's what I want to be like known for. But if I win an award for sucking dick, don't let me win for that.
I'm like, you can be sexy, empowering, and also win for best sucking dick.
Let me tell you, because I'll get up there and on the microphone. I just say.
Yeah. So what are you most looking forward to, like with the whole Vegas thing in general? I mean, because not only like do we have this whole giant convention where it's all industry stuff, you're also just thrown in the middle of Vegas with all like the fun stuff and all the crazy food in Vegas. So is there anything you're particularly looking forward to?
Yeah, Vegas is probably like one of my favorite cities. I'd say in
It's low
top,
key really fun, honestly.
and I'm a foodie,
Hmm.
and a whiskey girl at heart. So I go to all like the speakeasies and the whiskey bars. I'm really excited to drink some good whiskey and good food. Like
That's so
I like
amazing.
mhm. So I have a schedule, and I'm like, can we make sure we fit like the restaurant and dinner on there? Because it's
Yeah.
important.
Honestly, the first time I went to Vegas, I was like, I hate it here. It's all fake. And then like once you accept it as a Disneyland for like adults and everyone's happy there, basically.
I don't gamble, so it's for me. I'm like, casino, whatever. But I want to
Yeah.
eat, so I started planning around food and drink, so it makes it more fun.
I feel like I only play like the dumbest gambling games. Like there's a game where it's like fake horses and they run around a circle. I love
Yeah.
that shit.
So I would play that one because I did
Yeah.
watch people that play it.
Yeah, I love that shit because I'm like, I don't want I'm like not vegan or anything like that, but I'm like, yeah, horse racing is probably unethical overall.
But this is way cooler.
Yeah, I'm like, look at they're all plastic. You can yell at a plastic horse. It's great.
I love sports, so I will probably you'll probably catch me Sunday after all the craziness at Circa for their sports book watching some type of football action.
Yeah, this next 2 weeks is really stressful for me if you can't tell the Michigan flag in the background. So they're in the college football playoff
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah,
Very
very.
stressed out about.
It's
And
gonna be.
then if they win,
It's during AVN.
it's
The game.
Monday after AVN. So
Okay.
AVN Saturday,
I'll also
Sunday I
be.
fly back to San Francisco, and then Monday would be the national championship. And it's a fucking lot right now. I have a lot of emotions going on.
My college team's already lost, but shout out to Michigan because, but I'm 49ers fans, shout out to San
Oh,
Fran.
really? I'm
Niner
in
gang.
SF, so
So I'm gonna have my Niner gear on because we're almost playoff time. It's very serious.
so close. What's your college team?
Oklahoma State.
Uh, did you guys win your bowl game? I watched it 2 days ago.
We lost for sure.
Who was it? I'm trying to remember who it was against.
Pretty sure throw an interception like the last play of the game to seal the deal.
Who was it against? I remember it was like some really shitty bowl game though.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it because it was so long. But we played in Phoenix. That's all I remember because I didn't want to go.
Oh, yeah, that one. It's at like the Chase ballpark.
It was bad.
Honestly,
we took a hard L.
I do this podcast for Outsports. That's a college football podcast, or just generally football podcast. And I was gonna have Oklahoma State in my preseason playoff because I was like, they were so close to winning the Big 12 last year.
Every time.
It was like a yard away. I was like, oh, they'll be back. They'll be fine. And then I don't know how the fuck you lost to OU this year. I don't know how that happened. Everyone beat OU.
But us.
I don't understand.
But us. But you know what? As long as OU lost their bowl game too, it's okay. And they did.
They did. They definitely did last night.
Last night. I watched it. It was like glorious. It feels better when they lose.
Yeah, I'm very glad I finally had another college football fan on here to talk about that with, because usually blank. So that's great. Who do you have for the national championship?
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm in Texas. The TCU is a huge fluke right now, okay?
I honestly, TCU is really fun right now. The hypno-toad thing that they're embracing, that's really fun.
On the horny toad train, if you're not about it. So I am in that undercover underdog hater, and I got TCU to write it out.
If that happens tomorrow, I'm gonna be this is all I'm gonna think about. I'm just gonna be like,
she did it to us. But I really do like Michigan because I want them to have a comeback.
I mean, honestly, after what they did to Ohio State again this year, like, I'm really like, last year it was complete tears, like one of the best days of my life.
Like the ugly fan crier that was on TV for real, like every screenshot.
Yeah. So I had that. It was like not only being like, this is for me and my family that I'm texting right now. It's like my family that passed away since the last one. So it was like, this is for you, Dad. This is for you, Grandma. Like, complete crying. This year, I wasn't expecting it, and it's got better and better. And then I spent 3 solid days listening to every Ohio State podcast of them being sad.
You're like, yes, they're upset. Yes, they're still mad. They're still mad.
Just like their like whole thing, they were like, we need to fire Ryan Day today, right now. This can't be acceptable. It was just so great.
I can't wait to see, because they're gonna just want to fire their coach. Like, anytime Oklahoma State does better than OU, which we did, we were 7-6, and they were 6-7.
I mean, get your wins where you can get them.
It's an in-state win, okay? That's all we're going for.
I mean, Bedlam's a real rivalry. Like, I honestly consider on the same level as the Red River rivalry, the Iron Bowl, Michigan, Ohio State. I think it's like up there. It's
gone.
Oh, are they not gonna protect that crossover?
I don't think so. They're leaving. They took it away, and I don't have any. They're runners. They ran away.
I hate when that shit happens. I know this is turning into a college football podcast, but I'm gonna fuck right now. But like that, like Michigan and Notre Dame don't play anymore either. That shit pisses me off so much.
Don't mess up tradition.
Yeah, keep the main rivalries. That's why they're fucking there. Also, I'm crazy. I think the Southwest Conference should come back and bring in every Texas school and just be a Texas conference, but that's just me.
I think Texas is a little too crazy to handle that, to be honest.
I want that. I want A&M, Texas on Thanksgiving.
I live in San Antonio, and the tension.
Oh, so you just had the Alamo Bowl there yesterday.
Yes, last night. We got so.
Did you go?
Well, I could see the stadium, so I watched it.
Okay.
I knew they were leaving to Washington. Seriously? No,
I
no.
mean, what Washington did to Michigan State at the beginning of the season. I was on the beach in Hawaii and I was having the best time. And then I was watching that on the side and I'm just like, I love this so much.
He was a thrower.
Yeah, he's a great quarterback. Even when he was at Indiana, truly amazing.
I would talk college football with you anytime.
Okay.
I'm a football gal, so
Yeah, I'm like, whenever I run into someone who also knows it, my partner's from the West Coast. So they're like, why are people so into it? I'm like, if you're from the Midwest or the South,
get it.
you're
You just
born into it. Like my first
basketball.
clothing was
Yeah.
Michigan clothing. Like you're in it.
Both my parents went to Oklahoma State, so I did
Mhm.
not have a choice but to be an Oklahoma State fan.
Yep.
Shout out to Incarnate Word. We made it to our first ESPN
Oh
game.
yeah.
Cards up, and we lost, but I did get to watch my alma mater play on ESPN for the first time.
Oh my God, that's really exciting though.
So cool this year, yeah. But football is that's what I do. I don't watch basketball until after the Super Bowl. So
Yeah, I'm in the Bay, so everyone gets into the Warriors during that time of year. So we have that, but other than that,
Nation, it's crazy here.
yeah. So I have a few more porn related questions. Also, you having a TCU to win the whole national title, that's pretty crazy, but
I'm probably one of the few people that does. And if I win a lot of money, I'll send it to the sad people that
you bet on TCU to win?
I have like a little barbershop pool we got going on.
Okay. I'm assuming it's just gonna be Georgia. I'm assuming Georgia is just gonna destroy everyone.
Our house it through. Like no other.
Yeah.
But you gotta mix
it. Okay, so I have a few final questions for you. So if you could wake up tomorrow and you could magically change one thing in porn, what would you have it be? This is like the only BuzzFeedy kind of question I have.
Wake up and change one thing. I would say the stigma of what pro and independent actually means.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't shoot or have a contract with a studio or shoot with major studios does not mean I don't put the same amount of effort in. That's a huge thing that kind of just a respecting and like, I don't know, I've gotten a lot of backlash from the what you do doesn't, it's not the same. And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
I'm like, I think it is though. Like if you're making porn, you're making porn.
You kind of said dick the same way I did.
I feel like there used to be like a really big divide like at award shows and stuff between like cam performers and porn performers.
I'm hoping that this AVN, because of the categories, really does kind of just mingle that up a little bit. I respect the hell out of Why Not for how they did theirs because it was a good mix. It was a really good mix. You have Anna Fox and then you have like I'm like, I table with Anna Fox.
I know, I got a photo with her and I was like, damn, I got to meet Anna Fox. Fuck. I was
like, Anna Fox is at my table. Like trying to so just kind of like the crossover and the respect. Ebony Mystique got to like, I'm just those women that I've got to hang out with and network with that are at the top of the industry of mainstream. And then you have independent also.
Yeah. I think like just the more people are in a room together, we all kind of figure out we're basically all doing the same thing.
Yeah, we're kind of the same.
So let's say it's like the end of Saturday night, it's 1 a.m. and they're announcing all like the fan categories and you win. What's your celebration?
We're gonna sit there and cry for a good time.
Definitely tears for sure.
Holy crap, let's cry. We're gonna go out and probably go to we're going to a strip club because I like ass titties.
Hell yeah.
We're going to strip club, yeah. I'm calling up one of my promoter friends that I know and I'm gonna use my name that night as Lyric fucking Sky and we're going to the strip club.
I fucking love that. That's such a good response.
You're coming if I win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down now. I feel like I'm invested now that I know the story where I'm like, you have to.
This is like the peak of last year, finding out you're nominated in January. Then there was
Mhm.
no in-person show. It's kind of like, ugh.
It's
So
weird.
what was it? It was like, okay, whatever. People didn't believe, like, oh, whatever. But then, like, the work of this year, this is like, this is our Super Bowl. Let's go. Should we
Yeah, I
win
mean,
this?
like that you're like fully in it right now and you like lived up to what you wanted to do your way. It just like means way more than if you
Yes.
did it because someone said, "Oh, you should do this and this and this to get
Yeah, this is
nominated."
how you're supposed to do it. So of course it's gonna work. That didn't happen. so so if it all clicks and there's a lyrics guy on the screen or anything, yeah, we're going to strip club.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely join 100%. I have a flight at like 10 a.m., but like just all night then.
I don't let them miss flights, so we will get you to the flight.
I'm like, the airport's right there. It's fine.
Exactly. Get
Well,
her there.
well, thank you so much for coming on. Like your story and like your narrative going to AVN. That's so badass. I'm just so
Thank
excited for
you.
you and can't wait to see what else you do. Also, didn't see a college football conversation coming on, but
You never know where life may go.
yeah,
So
have you been enjoying bowl season? Are you fully in on it right now?
oh yeah. I'm not like gal that has the three streams going, so ESPN Plus is your friend.
Yeah, it's like I love college football so much. Like I'm the bitch who watches like the Tuesday Sunbelt games like during the season and stuff.
So I am like an NFL whore. I really am, but I love
Yeah.
college football. So Carrie, my business partner, she knows Sunday, Monday, Thursdays, we don't ever ask her to prove or do anything because I'm probably watching football.
Yeah.
I'm watching
Yeah.
football.
I'm like kind of to the point right now where I'm like, if Michigan loses tomorrow, I'm like, I need to take a break for a little bit because I'm
I
like at the
after
limit.
Oklahoma State lost, I was like, I don't really want to watch football until I know you could lose. So I was upset.
Yeah. I mean, all it took was like a day, right?
It's a day and a half, but it hurt.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, I hope. Actually, I don't hope TCU wins. I hope TCU loses. So I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I hope you win though, but respectively.
Thank you. I can't wait to see you in person.
Yeah,
So
likewise. I hope I can see you at the red carpet. I have no idea what it's going to be like there. I have no idea the scale. It's a brand new venue this year. There's all
yeah,
new people.
I have
Who
no idea.
knows?
I will be at the Duke Dolls booth. So I'll be at the expo also.
I have no idea if I'm going to the expo yet. I
So
feel all I know is I get to Vegas on Wednesday, so I'm like, okay, it's coming.
that's all I know for now. I'm like, there's a schedule, and we'll just kind of go with the flow once we touch down Wednesday.
Yeah. So where can everyone find you on social media?
Yes. Oh my goodness. So my new Instagram, Lyric Sky Official. So
Okay.
that's new. And then Twitter, Lyric Sky XX. But always lyricskyxx.com and just Google me, Lyric Sky.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It was so great to meet you and have
Yeah.
this awesome convo and best of luck on next Saturday.
Thank you. I'll keep voting for you. Yeah.